Welcome to the Morning Mayhem Show with the morning crew, Tom and Mama Manny.
And your host, Jim Amato.
Good morning, Woodland, and welcome to today, March 16th, the Wednesday that we have an extra long advisory today. We'll be signing up for SAT, preparing for the tests next week, so make sure that you remember that today, your advisory, our schedule has changed a little bit. I don't think it's changed that much, but it's 45 minutes long. So classes, I'm assuming, have to be shorter.
Classes are shorter. Looking for the schedule now.
5 or 10 minutes. It is National SBDC Day. That's Small Business Development Center Day. So if you're looking to be an entrepreneur in your hometown, there usually is some place that will get you started. So they have computers. They set you to different places. It's a good little resource if you're looking to start out. It's also National Curl Crush Day. Well, it's not curling, but it's if you have natural curls, you should be sporting them today. Everybody should be crushing on anyone who has natural curls on National Curl Crush Day. That's a mouthful right there. And it's National Artichoke Heart Day. I'm not a big fan of artichokes unless it's in a dip. I don't really use them for too many other things, but they say they're good antioxidants. So maybe we need to eat more artichokes.
Nice roasted artichoke with some fresh olive oil, salt, pepper. Yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, no. All right. And in the antithesis of the Everything You Do Is Wrong Day, today is the National Everything You Do Is Right Day. So no matter what happens, even if you trip over the sidewalk, it's going to be right. It was supposed to happen. It's going to look almost like you were dancing. Sure. Paper you were going to type, no mistakes on it whatsoever. That game that you were shooting for, you're going to get right through the boss level, no problem today.
Sure. And
it's also National Freedom of Information Day, which is celebrated on James Madison's birthday, or in commemoration of James Madison's birthday, is one of the founding fathers. The man helped out with the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and he was always about transparency of government.
I say he also played a role in the Constitution.
Yeah, he was part of that, but he was involved in that, and so during Sunshine Week, which has to do with transparency of government as well, we celebrate National Freedom of Information Day. And on a lighter note, it is also National Panda Day, the cuddliest of all killer animals. You don't want to get too close to a panda. No, not at all. Unless you have a death wish. Or bamboo. I suppose if you have some bamboo, maybe they would be distracted by that. Tomorrow's a good day too.
St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. I didn't know if you were going to know.
No,
but the schedule is colored in green, so it's a little bit easier to know. The Media Center is closed this morning, Wednesday, March 16th. Before school and blocks 1B and 2B. So if you need a Chromebook going in, you can go in and get a Chromebook, but it is closed for the rest of those blocks. Hawk Wings will be meeting March 17th. That's Thursday in room 229. So Hawk Wings on Thursday. Put that in your calendar. There's going to be the poetry and reading poem contest. Submissions need to be emailed to Mrs. Manning by no later than March 31st. So if you want to be involved in the poetry reading and poem contest supported by Mama Manning, make sure you get those poems emailed to her by March 31st. Then on April 21st, there will be a poetry reading, and I believe people will be notified as if they won. Class of 2022 in the National Honor Society, senior members, you need to attend that meeting on Thursday, March 24th. Make sure that you're there. Put your face in the place. And I believe it's the juniors are on March 20th. I'll find that. And if you're looking for a way to help the people in Ukraine and have Woodland support those communities, look for Maiden United. If you go online or if you look around the building, there should be a poster with QR codes that will help you donate some money so that you can get some necessities over there. We had the Paul Geary and Eric Mead on to explain that earlier this week. If you need any more information, feel free to reach out to them. And today are the auditions for Emma, a pop musical. That's going to be from 2:30 to 4:30 in the Drama Club. So if it's your time to trod the boards, as it were, take your shining moment in the spotlight. Today's the day to get it started. But if you're looking to be in front of the camera or perhaps behind the camera, maybe digital media is where you want to be. Why don't you go take a look at the 84-hour film challenge. See Mr. Riello in room 219 for details. That's March 25th to the 28th. And that will be an entire weekend of writing a script, shooting the movie, editing it down, and getting it ready to go. On March 29th, Woodland Worldwide will have their guest speaker, Love 146, to come talk more about human trafficking. If you have any questions about that, take a look for the URL for that's out there. The QR code will bring you to their website. And the class of 2023, their National Honor Society meeting, it's going to be all junior members are expected to attend on March 30th. March 30th. So make sure you have those calendars, those appointments in your calendar. Let's see. Freshmen and juniors, don't forget that you have to have your Chromebooks ready to go for next week. Today is going to be a good test for those. We're making sure that all Chromebooks are working. So if you have a bad key on your keyboard, today's the day we're going to find out for freshmen and juniors. Sophomores, well, you don't have to worry about that. Make sure your pencils are sharpened. Don't forget to listen to us live every morning at 7:15 a.m. or ish. Time now for the news. T-minus 60 with Tomlin.
Morning. Couple top stories start today. First off, Russia's military forces blasted Ukraine's capital region and other major cities Wednesday as they tried to crush Ukrainian defense. This frustrated the progress nearly 3 weeks after invading. With Russia's ground advance in Kiev stalled despite the sustained bombardment, glimmers of optimism emerged that talks between the two sides could make progress. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said a neutral military status for Ukraine was being seriously discussed at the business-like talks. Ukrainian President Zelensky described Russia's demands for ending the war as becoming more realistic.
He's really holding up. Like, for someone that was a comedian before, he's no joke.
I was just going to say that the very next story is he's going to be addressing the U.S. Congress. So President Zelensky will be addressing the U.S. Congress. The actor turned wartime leader's latest video speech as he used the West's great legislative body as a global stage to orchestrate support against Russia's crushing invasion. His live stream address Wednesday into the U.S. Capitol will be amongst the most important in a unique and very public strategy, which he has invoked Winston Churchill, Hamlet, and the power of world opinions in this fight to stop Russia. He has addressed so far the UK Parliament, the Canadian Parliament, and now he's going to be addressing the American Congress, and his speeches are very, very good. And I mean, it's just the structure. I mean, yeah, you look at this guy, and he's not the Eurovision comedian star that he was. I mean, he has definitely, risen to this moment. It's very impressive what he's doing. And one last bit of news coming from Russia and Ukraine. Russian lawmaker has demanded the return of Alaska and a California fort and reparations amid U.S. level sanctions. So a member of the Russian parliament has demanded during an interview that the United States return Alaska, a Russian fort that was built in California in the 1700s, and then we have to reimburse Russia for the expenses, even though we bought it from them legally. They want it back.
While they're grasping a little bit at straws there.
Well, this is just like an angry member of their Duma, of their parliament, coming out just saying random things. I mean, if we've learned anything is random members of legislative bodies around the world will say random things, not an official Russian statement. Although one other interesting thing was, I caught in the news this morning, there's a 9/11 memorial that was donated, or Vladimir Putin was there for its installation. I want to say it's in New Jersey. They have now covered his name on the monument.
Oh.
So you're beginning to see a lot of anti-Putin stuff going on. Just like there was a Russian cargo ship that was denied entry into the United States on March 3rd. They tried to go into the St. Lawrence River in Canada. It was denied. So they went to the northernmost harbor in Maine and asked for admittance, and Maine said no. So... And
stretching deep.
Yes. And then one last bit. Do you remember the story about the tanker that was stuck in the Suez Canal?
I do. I remember that. We talked about it ad infinitum last year.
Do you remember the name of that ship?
No. Echo Star. I don't remember.
It was Ever something.
All right.
Yeah. So its sister ship, the Ever Forward, is stuck in Baltimore Harbor.
Sideways?
No.
Just stuck.
It's just stuck, but its name is Ever Forward.
Ever Forward.
Yeah, it's stuck.
And what was the other ship's name? Ever something.
Yeah, or something. I don't
All
remember.
right. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. There's your news.
And there's your news. T-minus 60 with Tomlin. Over the sports desk with Mama Manning. And that's the sports with Mama Manning. She's not here this morning, so we have no additional sports. So
I love knowing that's what happens when I'm not here.
yeah, well, sometimes we have someone step in, or I'll try to do some news or whatnot. But I really had no additional news, except I think this afternoon, the NCAA championships will start with some of the play-in rounds. But that's all that I know there. Spring sports for high school starts on this weekend. I know some of the basketball tournaments are going to be finishing up too.
Yep, and hockey is finishing up next week.
They still play hockey?
They still play hockey.
Really? I guess I've never really been a big hockey fan.
I know high school hockey goes into next week. So
is it just because your daughter's been skating? You're more in tune to who's got their skates on?
I've kind of, they've been adopted me. There's a very nice dad who's kind of taking me under his wings, and they're bringing me along with the sport. And yes.
So do they have hockey going on the same time that?
Oh no! So they lose skate time because they skate at the Quinnipiac rink.
Yeah.
So they lose skate time if Quinnipiac hockey is doing good.
Oh, because this season extends.
Correct.
And Quinnipiac hockey is doing okay.
Good. So our 8 weeks has turned into like 16 weeks with all the days that we've had to miss because of Quinnipiac hockey. But yeah. So and then.
I think that's the one place I do watch hockey is the Connecticut Clash, where they have all the Connecticut college hockey teams like Yale, Quinnipiac is in it. I forgot a couple of the others, but I watch that sometimes when it's on local TV. But beyond that, I have no idea what's going on. Maybe just because I can't skate.
See, I was for a while. I was a Rangers fan, so. Back in the day,
I was a Whalers fan. When Whalers were around,
I was never a Whalers fan.
I used to go out and watch them play, and then the New Haven Knights, when they were down,
Nighthawks.
The Nighthawks. Yeah.
Oh, I saw many a Nighthawk game. Like that was, there was like a point in our lives where I don't know why, but we were always going to those games. And my family, I was the oddball. They were not hockey fans, but we were always going to Nighthawk games. So I don't know if we were getting tickets or they were giving tickets away, or my parents are like, hey, we'll just take them here and make them be quiet and watch something. Like, it was the 80s.
Yeah, nothing else to do. And we had our own Coliseum right down in the center of town. That was kind of cool.
So nice.
Yeah, I do miss it. And that circular death spiral for driving for the parking garage above it.
My parents had the station wagon.
Oh, my God. How did they fit that thing in there?
Very slowly and terrifyingly. I just remember like my parents yelling at each other as they drove down the circle of death.
And hit that little curb. There's no way to avoid it. It's just so thin. I don't know what it was designed for. And it was in the 80s when cars were bigger.
Yeah.
So whoever designed this thing, we're designing for like subcompact cars coming down this little chute.
No idea. Trying to explain to someone the other day about that, and like it was kind of like a civic center because you could go in there. There's cool things. We used to go in there for the computer trade shows all the time.
Oh yeah.
I was down there buying my floppy disks.
They would have the boat show every so often.
Yep.
And they had I remember this one. They had the bridal shows.
They had the bridal shows down there. They had wrestling.
That's where I saw Van Halen. BTO opened for him.
Nice.
Dire Straits. I'm going back. I
never saw a concert there.
Motley Crue came through one time.
Yeah. I went to WWF Raw when it was WWF. I did
go to
back
in the day.
Back in the day, I did go to one of their shows there because my buddy was like a diehard wrestling fan. But yeah, no, I never saw.
I think I saw Bobby Brown.
Nice.
New Edition. Johnny Gill.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we've seen some of those different concerts that were down there, but yeah, it was good to have a venue that concerts were closer.
We used to watch the circus every time the circus came into town.
Oh yeah.
We were there, either the Ringman Brothers or there was the Moscow Circus used to come around.
The P.T. Barnum.
Yeah, there was P.T. Barnum Bailey, but then there was a traveling Russian circus. I shouldn't say this out loud. It was Russians, but it was one ring, and they always had the bears. I mean, I don't know how more stereotypical you could get. Is
And then they would have some kind of on ice show.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Whatever was on ice that year. That's the Ice Capades would come in.
Yep.
And they would do some type of show for whatever the theme was. Yep.
Come to think about it, I think my family might have kept that place going. Like,
yeah.
I think it's like every year Ice Capades, every year going down and seeing the circus. We might have kept that place alive.
Yeah.
Never went on vacation, but we went to the Coliseum.
And now it's just a memory.
It's a parking lot.
It is a parking lot.
They're talking about redeveloping the entire area in New Haven. They're going to be building, I think, apartments where the Coliseum used to be.
Oh, that's
in a hotel.
Shame. That's a shame.
It's a parking lot right now. It's at least something will be built there.
Indeed. So if you're looking to see what we're talking about, go online and do some research on the New Haven Coliseum and see some of the things that happen downtown New Haven. And as always, don't forget to listen to us every morning at 7:15 a.m. For Mama Manning, he's Tomlin. I'm Amato. Good morning, Woodland.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Morning Mayhem podcast. Morning Mayhem is broadcast live from Woodland Regional High School in Beacon Falls, Connecticut, each and every school day. Follow us on Spotify, Anchor FM, or wherever you find your latest podcasts. And for more information on the show, upcoming guests, and past episodes, visit our show website, morningmayhem.show.